to cover, and I've got the two guys that we are going to cover them with. First up, we've got Nick Parsons from the Insiders Room coming on in. How's it going, Nick?
It is going fantastic. Yeah, totally exciting. The divisional round here, pretty crazy wild card. So yeah, let's get into it here with the professor for sure.
Yes, Dan Kaiser, the professor, is here today as well. How you doing, Dan?
Doing good. Looking forward to this weekend's football and kind of glad hockey's back. I haven't been really hit with COVID issues yet, so far so good.
So there's that. I bet on hockey last night. I watched a game. I watched the Golden Knights game last night. It's what I did.
Wow.
I know. It's I'm growing.
Were you wearing your sweater?
No, I did not. It was too hot in my house.
Okay.
I was not, but yeah, Kurt looked it up, and it is called a sweater. And we're thinking about doing a hockey night in Vegas, like how there's hockey night in Canada. We're thinking of doing a hockey night in Vegas show, and maybe you could pop on, Nick, maybe Tim Michael, our other capper from Canada, and do that kind of a little live show in playing and stuff. And so we'll talk later, but that's in the works, people at home.
That's pretty nationalistic there. What, you don't think people in America know hockey?
Well, I think hockey night in Canada, as he was explaining it, is like this big night, like Saturday night hockey night in Canada, and it's a big thing. And he was kind of talking about bringing it here, and I said, well, I'm sure it's copyrighted. So what if we did
hockey in Vegas?
In Vegas,
exactly.
You know, I could be Don Cherry and wear some crazy looking suits.
I would love to see you in a Don Cherry suit. That guy was a hot mess. Watched a bunch of clips of him last night. He wasn't the nicest guy that there ever was.
That was the best thing about hockey night in Canada.
He's been since let go.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I figured that would happen in this day.
Well, it only took like 40 years. But yeah.
That guy is fun, though. I mean,
he's great.
That's an entertaining fellow right there. Well, people at home, if you're watching, hit like and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. We've got good stuff coming up all week, all month, all year long, so you don't want to miss any of that. We are talking NFL divisional playoffs, like we said. So if you guys have any plays or questions about the games, feel free to drop those into our comment box, and we'll try to help you out. That's what we're here for. That's what we do here at Picks and Parlays. All right, so let's start it off. We've got Rams at the Packers. Green Bay is the favorite here, -6.5, and the total is 45.5. So what do you got on this one, Nick?
An interesting matchup, obviously, here. The Rams upset Seattle at home, on the road. LA's played to several unders here. Goff will be getting the start under center, so that's good news for Rams backers. I just wanted to say I don't have actually a play yet, anything official yet on any of these games. So right now, they're just really strong leans, everything that I'm giving, nothing official at this point.
Okay.
But because I would sort of lean to the over here with Goff back in here. I think that, Green Bay is going to be trying to get LA out of its comfort zone. And so pushing the pace from the start, and obviously with Aaron Rodgers behind center, what the game plan is going to be is just to throw the ball and throw the ball some more. I would lean to the over here. I think that the number's a little bit low, just because the Rams, I mean, they do have a really good defense, no doubt. But with this rested Green Bay offense that's had an extra week to prepare, I think that I'm leaning in the early going here to the over.
All right, so he's going over, throw the ball and throw the ball some more. It seems to work for them, though. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. What do you have on this one, Dan?
Yeah, you got Green Bay. They're probably the second best team in football right now. You could argue with KC. They're coming in after winning 6 straight, so they're coming in with a lot of momentum. And you look at the Rams; they lost 2 of the last 3 regular season games. They've been playing almost like soap opera at quarterback. McVay hasn't been happy with Goff all year, and he probably felt he got a break when Goff broke his thumb, so he could go with Wolford, and then Wolford gets a concussion. So now he's got to, He's got to drop his mistress in Wolford, go back to his ex-wife in golf. I don't, Goff in the last game only threw for 155 yards. I think for the Pack, I think for the Rams, I think you're going to see a lot of acres. You're going to see them running the ball a lot because Green Bay's rush defense is not good. You're going to see them throw the ball to acres. One thing I really look at the bet on this is acres, rushing yards total over, because I think it's sitting right now in the low 70s. I think you're going to see a steady diet at acres. And I'd go opposite with Nick. I think I'd go the under because I don't think McVay's going to let Goff throw the ball much. It's going to be more of a running game and keep the ball away from Rodgers. So I would lean under.
All right. Going under on it. Okay. So I like that. We have the acres rushing yards over and then under on the total is where you're at on that one.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, well, this one I am particularly curious about because I have an 8-1 future on the Ravens to win the AFC. So I don't know if I should hedge it now or hedge it later. The consensus I've been getting is wait for it because Chip and all them who I've talked to have said the Ravens will go through and I can hedge it later. What do you think about it, the professor?
Well, I'm not going to argue with those guys, but I would disagree with them. I mean, I like Buffalo in this game. One thing to look at is they're calling for there's a 40 or 50% chance of snow, and it'd be lake effect snow off Lake Erie, so it'd be heavy and dense, and they could have up to an inch or two of snow on the ground for the game. Jackson's never played in snow. Jackson's not good. Jackson hasn't been good in the playoffs in the last couple of years.
Right.
I mean, he was all right against Tennessee, but he basically won that game with his legs. I think Allen's made a big step up this year at quarterback for the Bills. I mean, he's increased his pass percentage over 10% from last year to this year. He's playing really well right now, and with Diggs, he's got a reliable weapon out wide. And if I'm looking at taking Buffalo in this game, and probably lean to the over also.
Bills and the over. Well, David in our chat agrees. He says Bills minus 2.5. This doesn't make me feel good about my future, so maybe I do need to hedge it. What do you think, Nick? What do I do?
Yeah, I'm with Dan. I'm leaning towards the Bills here as well. The line, it opened at 3. It's since come down to 2.5. I think that even on the money line, it's pretty reasonable. Under minus 150, just for Buffalo to win this game outright. I mean, it wouldn't be difficult to make a convincing argument for either of these teams to win, obviously. I mean, but I mean, even though there won't really be fans in the stadium, I don't think you can underestimate the home field advantage here. Baltimore having to play twice on the road. That's just really difficult at this time of year. So, yeah, and as Dan was pointing out there, Allen, he's just improved so much this year. And so, yeah, I would absolutely am leaning towards the Bills. But as I say, nothing official yet. But, yeah, that's what I'm leaning so far.
I should hedge. That's what you're saying. I should hedge. All right. Well, no, that does make a lot of sense, though. And especially when you said Lamar Jackson hasn't played in the snow, that's a big thing. And yeah, Nick, you're saying the home field advantage is a big thing. And Buffalo is one of those home fields where the weather is going to make a huge difference there. So, all right. You're the experts. Okay. So Browns at the Chiefs. We've got Chiefs minus 10 and the total's at 57. What do you think about this one, Nick?
Well, Kansas City, it has now gone over its season win total 8 straight seasons in a row. And this was its most difficult schedule yet of its, of that entire time. At times this year, it looked to me like Kansas City, was just sort of in neutral and sort of disinterested in games and stuff. And so I don't even know if we've seen the best of Kansas City yet this year, which is kind of scary. I mean, it did have a couple of mental letdowns. The game against the Raiders at home earlier in the year. But I mean, this is even though there won't be fans in the stands, we were just talking about home field advantage. Obviously, the Chiefs have a huge home field advantage, and I'm leaning heavily towards the Chiefs in this one.
Laying 10 with the Chiefs. What do you say, Dan? Do the Browns have any shot at this? Any shot?
I think for the Browns to have a shot. I mean, you're gonna see a lot of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I mean, they're gonna actually have to they'll have to have like time of possession like 3-1 to the Chiefs. 2-1 won't cut it just because Kansas City can score so quick.
Right.
10 points is a lot, but I mean, you got to look at this Chiefs offense, especially with a week to prepare. Andy Reid's just incredible when he has a week to prepare. And if you think about it, last year everybody's wondering what they're going to do after the layoff, going into Tennessee, and they put up 51. So I don't think the layoff's going to hurt them. They have just too many weapons, and if you saw what Pittsburgh did to those cornerbacks, and they don't have Pittsburgh doesn't have the wide receivers that Kansas City has. I think it's going to be a long day for the Browns secondary. And I haven't got an official plan this one yet. I'm kind of with Nick. I like Kansas City in this one.
Do we have any feelings about a total here?
Just give me 2 seconds here to quickly look.
It's 57.
Right. I mean, I don't have a strong feeling on the total, actually. So nothing official for me on that one. But yeah, definitely leaning towards the Chiefs, as I say. And it's just hard for me to see Cleveland winning twice in a row on the road again as well. I mean, and even competing this week after such a big win there last week over their most heated rival, etc. So, yeah. I'm leaning for a letdown here from Cleveland. Finally, they've sort of overachieved all year, or they've done better than they've done in a long time, obviously. And it feels like this could be the weekend that it finally the wheels come off the bus, so to speak.
I could see that. I could see that happening. All right. So last one we've got is the Bucs at the Saints. We've got New Orleans -3. What?
No, this is going to be a crazy game.
What I do wrong? Is it canceled? What happened?
No, it's a difficult one, I think, for sure.
Oh, I agree with you. And I think this is the one everybody is going to be crazy about, and it's going to be in everybody's parlays. So that kind of like worries me too. This has like wipeout game written on it, right? Like one of the last games of the night, and everyone's going to be on it. And so it's a tricky side, and we've seen these two teams go head to head. I mean, these are our two vets of the league, right? These are like the two left standing out of the last era of football quarterbacks, maybe Phillip Rivers too. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't even get thrown in there with me because like Brett Favre would have been that guy, I guess. But anyway, what do I know? So what do you guys think? And people at home, like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and drop your plays into the comment box. Yes, good night, Munchie. It's going to be great for sports. All right. He likes Tom Brady to win the Super Bowl. Nick Parsons, what do you like?
Well, Tom Brady has never lost to a team 3 times in a season ever in his career. He's lost twice, like 5 or 6 times, and then he's always gone on to win that third game. So that's happened here. Both of those games also went under the number. I'm sort of thinking early on here, I'm leaning to the over. I know that both of these teams have really great defenses. But yeah, I think that this is going to be a shootout, and Tom and Breeze will be the two main people in this storyline of this game, I think. So, well, the first 2 games went under. I'm not committing to a side here, but yeah, I'm leaning heavily to the over.
All right, Dan, what do you think about it?
Yeah, it's like Tom Brady, what he calls it, the History Channel game. You got these two old quarterbacks going.
I love that.
Yeah, it's one of those games you're like, oh, this is going to be like the best game of the weekend. it's all these weapons out there, high scoring. I don't know. I just got this bad feeling it's going to be just a snooze fest, and it's not going to be very good. And it's I don't know. I think I'm going to put on Nick's contrarian hat here and go under, just because everybody thinks it's going to be such high scoring game and all these weapons. As far as the side goes, I don't know. To me, it's almost like flipping a coin.
Yeah.
I mean, because I can see an overtime game. I can see it coming down to a field goal or last possession. And I guess I doubt you won't see the line move, but I guess if the line went to 2.5 or 3.5, that's the side I'd take.
Right.
In this one.
Get over that number, yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have a great feeling about either side in this one. I just think it's going to be probably a real close competitive game. And though I'd only lean Tampa Bay just for the fact that the Saints always find goofy ways to lose these games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's
Or the
true.
refs do it for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on my sports.
So one other factor, I've heard that Breeze has said that he will retire after the season. I've heard that Brady will continue on after the season. So I don't know if that matters, but it's still interesting to note there.
Well, yeah, I wanted to ask two things about this. One is, could this be Brady's or Breeze's last game? And two is, how big is the revenge factor? The last time I remember these guys playing, the Saints ruined. I remember in playing Tampa, plus 14.5. Yeah, no, that didn't get, I remember my mind was blown, and I was at the Circus Sportsbook in Las Vegas. It just didn't make sense. So is that revenge factor there from getting blown out so hardcore?
I think so, for sure. Those two games, and Jameis Winston was eating W's on the sidelines after the game and everything. So, yeah, I think that's a big factor. And as you said, this could be Breeze's last game, possibly ever, in a Saints uniform. Why wouldn't he try to be showcasing this in a highlight opportunity to beat Brady for a third time, cement his legacy, and possibly go on to the Super Bowl? So, yeah, I'm liking a shootout here in this third matchup between the teams.
All right. Well, I hope it is a shootout for sure. Our friend Alex says Penguins are going to win in the NHL.
That's a good, it's interesting the way that they play the first game, and then it's a revenge situation immediately. You know what I mean? So that's the case there. Philly did pull away later on in that game on opening night, but.
How do you feel about the Avalanche coming back to the Blues? Do you think, because I know the Blues defense really stepped up there.
Yeah.
And the Avs were a favorite. They're still the favorite.
I had a play on Edmonton last night. So that's a very similar situation. Edmonton was favored against Vancouver in its opening night game, lost to the Canucks, then came out and won the second game. And so this is a very similar situation where St. Louis is a very quality team, comes in, beats Colorado. Let's not overreact. Let's to one game between the two teams. And so I think Colorado's still at a pretty fair price right now. So I definitely like that play, Allie.
I'm definitely noticing, because one of my college basketball things that I'm doing is the back-to-back games. And what I notice is if the home favorite loses the first game, they almost always win the second one, So just throwing that out way, and they cover the second one, because usually it's like, you just beat me at home. Now we're going to turn around. You've been sleeping at a hotel for 2 nights. I've been in my bed, and I'm going to eat your face. So that's kind of what I've been seeing happen in college basketball. And I'm looking to see if that trends over with the NHL. Munchie says he's on Colorado tonight.
Nice.
So yeah. Are you a hockey man, Dan?
Yeah. Well, I live halfway between Detroit and Chicago, so yeah. I can pick. But unfortunately this year they both stink, so it's like no, but I've been a long time Colorado fan, and so yeah. They let me down the first night. And I had them in the first night. They let me down there, but that's been my only loss so far this year. So
fair enough. Are you a Canucks fan? Are you in Vancouver? Who's your team, Nick?
I used to have season tickets to the Canucks when I lived over in Vancouver for a number of years. I guess I don't have a favorite team anymore, honestly. Just whatever team I'm betting on that night, that's my favorite team.
Right. Whoever I've got money on. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Well, You know, my team's going to be the Knights because that's like all the teams I can name is the Knights. No. The only ones I know. No, I did have a good time watching. Kurt came over last night to watch the hockey and watch the SDSU game that I had a nervous meltdown during that SDSU game. But yeah, it was good hockey. We did some in-playing and it was good. We made some money and had some fun. So go hockey season. I'm with it.
For sure.
I feel like we should make our live caps on Wednesdays like hockey heavy because in the basketball free pick videos, I'm getting a lot of people asking about hockey.
Right.
Unless, of course, we do start doing hockey night in Vegas, which I think we should on Saturday night. So we'll talk about that in you too, Dan, because I want people just to jump in for 5 minutes and say, hey, what's up, and give a player
great.
like that, you know. So
great idea.
We're working on stuff for you guys, Picks and Parlays View Crew. And tonight, Total Chaos NFL is back with Chip Chirimbus. That dude is still the champ. I think this is week 5 for him. He was 5-1 last week in the wild card week. 5-1. So there's only 4 games. I'm going to parlay all 4 of these little suckers together is what I'm going to do with Chip's picks. I don't know why I wouldn't at this point in the game. But Picks and Parlays View Crew, that'll be on tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to keep an eye on your notifications and hit that bell to get them if you haven't already, that's when you can catch Chip Chirimbus and Sean Higgs. The rematch continues. These two, we all have rivals. Like Dan and Kurt are rivals. Chip and Sean are rivals. So Nick, I think you and I are rivals now.
Right. Okay. There we go. We're going to find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can I hold down the NBA crown? We'll find out.
A two-time champ. Yeah, and those picks are already up. Nick and I did pick Total Chaos NBA last night. So if you guys are looking for some plays on the NBA, search that in your YouTube search engine, Total Chaos Picks Parlays, and you can find our plays on that. And hopefully I'm the winner.
We will see.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck to you. Oh, cool. Okay, Mark is down with Hockey Night in Vegas. Okay, I'm going to run it by the boss. I think he'll be into it, and we'll get something going here so we can do an in-play and something like that for hockey.
Sounds great.
All right, guys. Well, that just about does it for us. Just a quick recap because I know we had a lot of late joiners. Rams at the Packers. Nick went over. Dan went under. Dan really also likes the Akers rushing yards to go over in that game. Ravens at Bills. They both think that the Bills cover, and Dan took that over. Browns at the Chiefs. They're both on the Chiefs. And Bucs at Saints, I didn't type it in. You were over, you were under. Dan went under, Nick went over. So that's kind of how that broke down right there. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for joining the show. Thank you guys for commenting and participating with us. And we'll see you later on tonight when we got more free picks coming your way.
Thanks, Ellie. Thanks,
guys.